Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Blender Easy, and in today's video we are going to create this sci-fi animation inside of Blender without using any third-party add-on, but with the help of geometry nodes and with the help of Eevee rendering system. So if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any much more time, let's get started. So here we are in Blender. Now let's do one thing. I'm going to select this cube and we will delete it initially. Also select this light and we will delete it. And if you hit 0 on your keyboard, we can see this camera through our view. Now I'm going to press Shift A, empty, and I'm going to enable the plane axis. I'll double click and I'm going to call it as camera controller like this. Now I'm going to select this camera, and by holding shift I'm going to select this plane. I'll press Ctrl P and I'm going to select object. So if I select this null object and press G, as you guys can see, along with this null my camera is also moving. Same, I'm going to press Shift A, I'll go to the light and I'm going to choose area light, press GZ and try to bring this over here. Then select this light, and by holding shift I'm going to select this null. I'll press Ctrl P again and I'm going to choose object. So now this light is also with this null object over here. Let's double click and let's call it as camera and lights. Okay, so this is going to stick over there. Over here we are not going to use it, at least for now. So let's minimize this and we will uncheck and we will hide this. Then we will right click, create a new collection. Let's call it our models like this. Now let's try to create our models. First I'll press Shift A, I'll go to the mesh and I'm going to choose icosphere like this, and go to the options and let's decrease the subdivision somewhere around like this. Now select this and go to the modifiers over here, add modifiers, generate, and we are going to choose wireframe. So we will get something like this. Let's minimize it. Let's go to the add modifier, generate, and we are going to choose subdivision surface. So we will get something like this. Okay, so we will get this kind of stuff. Now let's select this and press Shift D S and let's scale the size somewhere around like this. And this time I'm going to increase this subdivision value up to 4 like this. Then right click and choose shade smooth. So we will get this kind of stuff over here. Okay, then press Shift A, mesh, and we are going to select UV sphere. Press S and let's scale the size somewhere around like this. Select this, right click and choose shade smooth. Okay, so we have one cube, one this and one this. Okay, like that. Let's select this portion. Let's choose apply this wireframe also and over here, because we are not going to apply any texture to it, so it would be easy for us to apply. Okay, so first apply this wireframe and then apply this over here. Okay, so our basic model of this one is ready. Now let's move to the important part of this, which is geometry node. So let's select this models and let's hide this. We'll right click, new collection, and we will call it as geometry like this. And sorry, let's name it properly. Okay, then I'll press Shift A, mesh, and I'm going to add one cube over here. Obviously this cube has nothing to do with this, so now we will go to the geometry mode and I'll create a new mode. We have one group input and one group output over here. Now hit spacebar to enable our nodes. Now over here I'm going to type icosphere, so simply click over here and bring this in middle of this. Let's select this group input and let's move this over here. Okay, let's zoom on it. Okay, now I want to create a mesh, a curve from this mesh. So hit spacebar and let's call it as curve, sorry, mesh to curve. Okay, so simply bring this in middle of this. Okay, now hit spacebar again and type curve to mesh, and let's bring this over here. Now we need some data to tell them that what kind of object you want on this curve. So hit spacebar and let's type circle, mesh, curve circle over here. So bring this over here and make it linked with this. And now this in curve circle, let's choose 0.02, or let's say 0.05 or something. So we'll get this kind of option over here. Now let's select this and let's try to bring this over here. Okay, Now we need certain kind of instance over here, so let's try to do that. But before this, between this and this, I need another node over here, which is join geometry. So type join geometry over here, and we will bring this over here. Then we will hit enter and we will call it as instance on point. Okay, so you can type instance. Okay, so you will get this point, instance to point. If you choose, you will get different results. We don't need instance to points, we need instance on point. So hit spacebar, and over here you will get this instance on point. So simply click on it like this. Instance on point, basically we have to decide on these points which kind of structure you want. Okay, so now as an object I need this icosphere, so I'm going to select this and I'll bring this to this point. And now we have to decide which object you want on their points. So hit spacebar and type I want cube over here. So I'll select this cube primitive and I'll make it a link with this instance. And now you have to select this instance and make this to geometry. So as you guys can see, those cubes are over there. Now in size we are going to make it 0 0.02, 0 0.02 and 0 0.02 over here. If you see, the size is actually very small. So what you can do over here is that you can adjust the size according to your needs. Right now specifically for this tutorial I'll keep it as it is. Okay, so let's select this all of this stuff over here, and let's try to bring this up to this, so we can adjust this portion later. Okay, now over this cube over here I need different points, so let's try to do that. So first I want extrude, and I need to create extrude animation on this one. So hit enter and let's call it as extrude mesh, and simply bring this over here. So as you guys can see, this now extruding this mesh over here like this. So initially let's make this 0, or let's add a particular point so we can see this. Okay, now let's bring this up to this over here. Now again over here I'll hit enter and I'm going to call it as mesh to curve over here, mesh to curve, and bring this in middle of this. So we will get this line. Let's select this much portion, again bring this up to here, hit enter. Let's call it as curve to mesh and bring this over here like this. Okay, and now we have to decide again object, so press enter and let's type our curve circle again over here and let's link with this. Okay, but if you see, we are getting this weird stuff because we need to adjust the radius. So now we need to adjust the radius very less, so somewhere around this kind of stuff. So we will get this over here. Okay, so now if you see over here, this entire portion is a different object and this entire portion is a completely different object. Okay, so let's select this and let's try to select this much portion and bring this over here, select this much portion and let's bring this over here. And this is just a joining geometry office. So let's select this too and let's try to bring this over here. Now over here our object is ready, and now we need to apply some materials to it. So for that, what you can do, hit enter and let's type set material over here and bring this one for this, again bring another one for this one. Okay, and over here you need to adjust the materials. Now let's select this anything, this portion. Let's go over here, create one material, let's call it as lines. Okay, and we will keep color as somewhere around grayish color or something. Then we will create another material, new, and let's double click and let's call it as glow. Okay, like this, and we will choose blue color over here. Similarly, go to the emission value, choose blue color like this, and strength I'm going to add 5. Okay, and now we need to adjust the color over here. So go over here, press Z, and we are going to choose renderer view. Let's do one thing, right click and join areas, and we'll join these areas because I don't need to see that. Let's go to the material preview so we can see the materials properly. Now over here in set materials we have to choose materials. So over here we are going to choose this lines for this one, and for this one I'm going to choose glow. Okay, now go to the render settings over here and make this bloom enable, so we'll get something like this. And if you want, you can select this and you can go to and choose glow strength up to 2 or something like that. Okay, so this portion is ready. And as I said that I need to animate this extrude, so let's try to do that. Let's bring our timeline a little bit upward over here, and I'm going to make this animation up to 360 degree, not 360 degree but up to 360 frames, somewhere around like this. So let's try to do that. I'm going to select this extrude mesh and I'm going to create one keyframe at offset. So initially offset should be 0, and let's create a right click and choose insert keyframe over here like this. So make sure to select this over here like this, go over here, right click, and let's create clear keyframe initially. Let's select this extrude, right click and insert one keyframe over here, zoom in, go somewhere around up to 180. We will make this value somewhere around like this. Let's make this value somewhere around like 4. Right click and insert another keyframe, go to around 360, and let's make this 0 and right click and insert keyframe. So now if you see over here, we are getting this kind of animation over here like this. Okay, and let's go to the layout options over here, and if I hit space, I mean if I try to hit play, I'll get this animation over here. Now press Z and choose material preview so you can see this animation over here. Now let's go to the start, and let's enable our models over here. Now I'm going to select this cube and I'll press S and I'll try to scale the size according to this. Okay, like this. Now we need to apply colors to this one as well. So I'm going to select this sphere inside this over here, go to the materials, we are going to select this glow. For this one we are going to select this lines color only. For this one as well we are going to select this lines color only. Okay, so if you see, we will get something like this. Now I'll go to and over here and I'm going to enable my lights and camera. Go over here like this, select this camera and hit 0 over here. So okay, then go and press N, go to the view, and we are going to enable this camera to view. But first we will adjust the position of our camera, and let's enable this value and let's bring this somewhere around over here. Okay, like this. So if you see this, now we are getting this kind of effect over here like that. Okay, over here. Now if you want, let's select this, let's select this area light, hit 0 to get out of this view. Go to the top view, press S for scaling option and scale this size like this. Go to the top view, GZ, and try to bring this over here like this. Okay, select this G and let's move this over here. Press R for rotation, rotate it like this. Go to the front view, press R, rotate it like this and rotate it like this, and change the power of this light up to 5000 and hit 0. Press Z and choose renderer view, so we will get something like this. And if you hit space bar, we will get something like this. Now if you want, you can create multiple copies of those lights, but before that let's go to the word system and we are going to choose complete black color. So if you see this, now we will get this kind of stuff. Now let's go to the top view, select this, press Z and choose solid view. I'm going to select this light, shift D, and let's move this over here. Press R for rotation and rotate it like this. Okay, then select this G and rotate it over here. Select this 2, shift D, move this over here. Press R for rotation and let's rotate it like this over here. And if you hit 0, Z and renderer, we are getting this kind of lines over here like this. Now I'm going to select this camera control, and if I go over here and I can rotate this camera on Z axis. So initially let's make this 0 and we will create one keyframe, then go somewhere around 360 over here, increase this value up to 360 because our animation is up to 360 and let's make this 360-degree rotation and create another keyframe. Now select this, right click, keyframe interpolation, and we are going to choose linear. So if you see this, now along with this we are getting this kind of animation over here as well. Now along with this animation, I want this part of this should also rotate, so I'm going to select this, go over here, let's create one keyframe each, go to 360 over here, let's make this 360 360 and 360 and create another keyframes. Okay, so if you see, we will get this kind of rotation over here as well, like this. Similarly, I'm going to select this portion, create one keyframe each, go over here. Let's make this minus 360, minus 360, and minus 360, and create another keyframes. Again, we will select all of this keyframe. We will right click, keyframe interpolation mode, and choose linear. Okay, so we will get this rotation animation inside this. Now along with this, I need a little bit depth of field in this animation. So for that, what you can do is that you can select this camera over here, go to the camera and enable this depth of field, go over here and let's make this f-stop 0.2 or something over here, and let's adjust this value somewhere around like this. Okay, and if you hit play now, we will get something like this. Okay, over here. Now you can adjust this f-stop value according to the way you want over here. Along with this, you can adjust the, you know, where you want to focus, like this over here. Now initially I am going to move this somewhere around over here like this, and let's create a one keyframe, then go somewhere around at this point over here, somewhere around at 180. I need this should focus on somewhere around like this portion, and create another keyframe, then go over here and let's see what is the start value, which is 13, and let's somewhere around over here, let's make this value 13 again and create another keyframe. So if I say this animation now, along with this, I'll get the depth of field animation for this as well, like this over here. And if you want, you can increase the value of f-stop over here, so you will get proper stuff over here like this. Okay, and this animation is going to be in the form of loop. You can select this over here, you can go over here and you can increase this, you can change the rotation value of this one as well, like this, or you can rotation value, adjust the rotation value of this as well. Okay, so if you see this now, we will get something like this. Okay, so I'm going to add a rotation value somewhere around, let's say x-axis as well. So one keyframe initially over here, let's make this 360-degree rotation, create another keyframe. Okay, let's see this animation, we will get something like this. Okay, over here, like this, and this animation is going to be in the form of loop. Okay, just to check out, you can simply check out the render image over here, so we will get something like this. Okay, and it's up to you if you want to choose different color for this. For example, you can choose yellow color over here. Similarly over here you can choose yellow color, so you will get this kind of results. So it's totally up to you what kind of results you want, like this. Okay, like this you can choose as well. So this is how you can create this kind of looping sci-fi animation inside of Blender.